Bhagavata Narayana Swayam Vyasena Kavita Puranamune Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamridavarshini Bhagavatim Ashtadasadhyayini Ambatvamanusantatami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshini.
Getting Parameshwara is sulabha, easy. There are a number
Actually,
of reasons.
Vishnu Sahasranamam, there's one nama. I mean, I remember that Krishna Premi Swami, he used to say, Sulabha, Swami is very easy to seek. So, let's remember that Sulabha.
He will explain now. How is it? Yeah.
Gaining Parameshwara is sulabha, easy. There are a number of reasons why Ishvara is easily gained. Any accomplishment requires some effort, even wearing your clothes. Suppose you have a shirt that is little tight. When you are in a great hurry, you would rather not wear it because it takes half a minute extra to put it on. You want to avoid that extra time and effort. Now suppose you need some money, you have to put in effort. If you want power, you have to put in effort. If you want pleasure, it takes an effort on your part. To create a pleasurable situation, you have to manipulate a lot of things. Only then can you relax and enjoy. And if you want to go to heaven, effort is involved. A lot of things have to be avoided and many things have to be done. However, the Lord says that the gain of Brahman is sulabha. While going to Brahma Loka, it requires a maximum amount of effort. Gaining Brahman is no effort. If it is argued that always dwelling upon Brahman is an effort, it is not. In fact, there is no effort in dwelling upon what you love. Everybody loves to stand before the mirror. Even an old man who has cataract in his eyes and is not able to see well stands before the mirror and tries to look at himself. Why? Because of love for Atma. Here it is an effort. It is not an effort because love is not an effort. It is very natural. For a mumukshu, dwelling upon Parameshwara is a matter of love. It is very natural because Atma is of the nature of absolute love. Any form of love extended towards any object is, after all, for my own sake. That object makes me pleased and therefore becomes an object of my love. What I really love is my pleased self, Atma. Since Atma is Parameshwara, whose nature is Ananda, there is nothing more to be desired. Being absolute fullness, Atma becomes the object of absolute love. Because it is the most desirable, dwelling upon it becomes joyous. It is not a painful affair. It is what you love the utmost. Nothing new is produced, either because Atma has already existed as Parameshwara. The result is not born of effort, it is born purely of recognition. There is no effort involved. Nothing new is added, nothing old is removed. The accomplishment is of an already accomplished fact. Therefore, it is sulabha, easily gained. Then you may argue that the removal of ignorance is an effort. In fact, you only recognize, and in the recognition, ignorance gets removed. You do not do any action. It is purely an activity of pramana. Therefore, it is sulabha. The one who dwells upon me is endowed with a mind which is tranquil, contented, and under control, in the sense that it does not have any problem with reference to reflection on Parameshwara. Whenever the mind is free, it goes towards Bhagavan, like a person who loves someone. The mind very naturally goes towards the object of love. It does not require an appointment. Similarly here, the mind of a mumukshu, a jigyasu, will naturally go towards Paramatma, the Vastu. You have understood the nature of Paramatma is something that is not different than yourself. So where else will the mind go? Until that takes place, you continue to do Shravana. Will is used in the beginning and later the very subject matter takes over. Afterwards, you do not require any will at all. It is something like going to a Kumbh Mela. You do not require a roadmap. All you have to do is get into the crowd that is going. Soon the momentum of the crowd is so great that even if you want to go back, you cannot. It becomes like a moving ramp. People from behind push you and you keep moving. You are at the stream. You keep moving and you find yourself right in front of Ganga. This is exactly what happens here. Certain will is required until you get into the stream of thinking, of understanding. Once clarity is there is no effort at all. In the previous verse, Krishna said that these people who lack discrimination, not knowing my real nature, look upon me as someone who has a form. They think I am someone remote from them, who has assumed a body and come here from another place. In fact, I am the whole world and I am the Atma of everyone. This is my real nature, changeless and beyond which there is nothing greater. Not knowing me in this way, they regard me as having a given form. Shankara says, what is the reason for this ignorance? Why do they worship other devatas and pursue smaller ends? Why do people not directly seek the Lord? Krishna points this out in the next verse.
Prashant, will you read, Prashant?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Verse 25. Covered by Maya, not everyone. Not everyone recognizes Bhagavan. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritaha mudoyam nabijanati loko mamajamavyayam. Yogam Maya samavritaha, completely covered by Yogamaya, sarvasya, for everyone. Na aham prakashaha, I am not recognized. Ayam lokaha, this person. Mudaha, being deluded.
Mudaha, be only.
Mudaha.
Yeah.
Mudaha, being deluded. Ajam, one who is unborn. Avyayam, one who is changeless. Mam, me, na abhijanati, does not clearly know. Completely covered by Yogamaya. I am not recognized by anyone. This footnote, one second. Can you read it for me? It's not.
Maya related to three gunas. Yoga Maya, like see what we say, no, that Sattva, Raja, Tamo Guna. Basically, it's a model again. See, any object has got the combination of all these three gunas. Like for example, a rock, it is totally Tamoguna, it doesn't have any sentience at all. Whereas an animal has got Tamoguna and Rajoguna, very little Sattva-guna. And something like a cow has more Sattva-guna compared to Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And then when it comes to human being, more of Sattva-guna and Tamoguna and Rajoguna are less, next important. So, the combination of all the three gives rise to different yonis. And within the human being also, there are people with more of Tamoguna, more of Rajoguna and all that. That is how the Varnashrama Dharma also is explained. Like people who are more Sattva-guna thinking in their disposition and all that, they are thinkers in the society. Some are businessmen in the society, more of Rajoguna, but followed by Sattva-guna, because the good thinking is required even to maintain money and all that. So Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattva-guna and then Tamoguna. There are some people who are warriors, Rajoguna, Tamoguna and then Sattva-guna, because they have to just do Shoot means they have to shoot. They cannot be thinking. So Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and then followed by Sattva. And there are people who are just, they can do only do, they cannot think. They are Tamoguna, followed by Rajoguna, followed by Sattva. See, all these people, so people in the society, according to the disposition of and the mixture of these gunas, they form the society basically. All the four are required anyway. All the four are required, and that is how the Varna itself was started. For basically, guna, karma, vibhaga saha. That is how Varnashrama Dharma is explained. Guna, karma, vibhaga saha. By classification by guna and karma. But unfortunately, that has been converted into this caste system. Which is sort of, it is a very aberration. Very scientifically designed Varna Ashrama Dharma has been abused and brought into a situation now because of the problem in the caste thing. We have thrown the baby along with the bathwater. See, we don't want the problems, so we chucked the good things also in that. So that is precisely what Maya united with the three gunas. That is what it is. Yoga Maya meaning the whole thing is all this what you call the Vikshepa meaning the differentiation is done by Yoga Maya. But the very differentiation is obliterating the underlining truth. Very differentiation obliterates the undifferentiated Ishvara and Atma. So it is not because of ignorance we got into Vikshepa. Because of Vikshepa, we don't pay attention to ignorance. That I don't know unless you ask. As I have always told, you are all born with a clean slate. This is in spite of all the samskara, even though you have got a yoni which is sattva predominant. But in the beginning, as a child, we are all given a clean slate so that you can decide and choose to know whatever you want. Somebody wants to know French, they can know French. Somebody wants to know Hindi, they can know Hindi. So that the choice is, the total freedom is given for you to choose to know. So anything and everything, even eating, even playing, everything you have to choose to know. So likewise, even this underlying truth, the undifferentiated Atma is me. Whenever I am looking at Atma, the mirror, why I am happy is because of the underlying Atma. Not because you are happy with your face. If you are, actually you are not happy with your face. That is why you keep on changing. You are never happy with your face. That is why you keep on changing. But still you keep looking at the mirror. Why? Because you are essentially Atma. And you have not chosen to know it, so you don't know it. And why you have not chosen to know it? Because the freedom is given. And why you are not choosing to know it? Because you are obliterated with all the differentiated world. So, basically I tell you, it is just a question of, that is why it is Sulabha. It is not because you have to know and then get it. You just have to know it. There is something called Vritti Vyapti and Phala Vyapti. Anything and everything, easiest thing. Even a pot, first your eyes must go and cover the pot as an object, and then from your memory you must know that this is called pot, and then only you will know pot. Otherwise, first time when you see, you won't know. You will only have the vritti, you will not have the phalam. So phala comes from prior knowledge, or somebody has to tell. So there are two things that are required for any thing to know. Whereas in your own case, you just have to choose to know what is the underlying undifferentiated being. Once that ignorance is gone, it's automatic. It is not like, it is something like, once you hit with an axe, you don't have to make an effort to make it into two pieces. Once you hit, automatic two pieces. In the same way, once you decide to know what is the undifferentiated, nirvisesha, behind all this visesha, that's it, over. You know that it is you. It is, it doesn't have any contours for you to know, because it is Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, just the being. You are the being, and with the being only all this undifferentiated we are able to see, because the being nirvisesha, every visesha you are able to see, and you are able to switch between one visesha to another, one visesha to another without any getting lost, because you are basically nirvisesha and you don't get touched by any visesha you see in life. So many ways it is sulabha. That is what Bhagavan says. It is so sulabha, you miss it. That's all, you just miss it. You have to choose to know. That's what he is trying to say. That is why that Yoga Maya he has brought in. Yeah. Let's read further.
So the Maya united with the three gunas. That's the footnote. So
Yeah.
I am not recognized by everyone. This deluded person does not know me clearly as the one who is unborn and changeless. Now here Sulabha is something like Sulabhama kadekkaradhu abdingra mari.
Yes, exactly.
That's
exactly.
the
Same thing. Yeah.
alternate reading. I, completely covered by Maya, united with the three gunas, am not recognized by everyone. A person is deluded and does not know me properly as the one who is unborn and changeless. Na aham prakashaha sarvasya. I am not known to all people. Na aham prakashaha means I do not come to light. Even the people who see me now see me as this boy from Vrindavan. They do not recognize me Ishvara at all. The Lord says I cannot be known by all people. Shankara adds here that the Lord can be seen only by certain bhaktas, seekers. It means Ishvara comes to light only for those who seek Him and are qualified to recognize Him, not to everyone. Why? People are covered by Maya, Loka Yoga Maya Samavritaha. Shankara says yoga means the connection or trying together of the three gunas or tying together of the three gunas. It is Maya. By that Maya, united to the three gunas, they are covered. Previously, it was said that people are deluded by the three gunas. Tribihi guna mayai bhavaihi.
Mayai Bhavaihi means Bhagavan's Maya means mine. My own Bhava is three gunas. Because of that, it all get covered. Yeah.
Mayai bhavaihi ebihi sarvam idam jagat mohitam.
Yeah, we
Gita
have done
7.13.
We have done it before. Yeah.
As we saw, it is a product of the gunas that delude. Sattva accounts for happiness, Rajas for sorrow, and Tamas for dullness. By these people are covered. Avrita means
Yeah.
covered and Samavrita means totally covered. By this Yoga Maya, the three gunas and their products, people are totally covered. What is covered? Suppose consciousness Atma is covered, then you would not be able to know anything. There would be no world. That is, there will be Jagadandya Prasanga.
Jagat Andhya Prasanga. The possibility of
The world being absent for a person.
So this is something like, which we have told before also. For example, when the sun is there and suddenly you lose the sight of the sun because of a cloud in between. But it is not that cloud is covering the sun. It is the cloud is covering your eyes, because the cloud itself you are seeing only because of the sun. If the sun is not there behind, you won't even see the cloud. So the sun is not covered. Your eyes are covered. And because the clouds are very close to you, compared to sun is very far off, clouds are very close to your eyes, so they can easily cover. Something like a patti, something like a cloth covering your eyes can easily obliterate the sun in front of you. In the same way that you are the closest. If you without any guna, nirguna, if you are not there, even the variety of trigunaihi, variety of objects and all that, you will not be able to see. The very fact you are nirvisesha only, you are able to see all the things. So that being the closest among all, we are missing that. Because we have not chosen to know what it is. Why? Because of which I am able to see the world. That question we never ask. We take it for granted. Like when we go into a dark room, which we have explained also before. When you go into a dark room, there are a lot of objects. Lot of objects are there. So, but you are not able to see. So what do? Go and switch on the light. Once you switch on the light, you see a lot of things. But you take it for granted the light. Because of the light only you are seeing. When anyone is asked, the switch you put it on, immediately ask the child, what are you seeing? He will say objects 1, 2, 3, 4. He will not say, I am seeing light. First you are seeing light, then you are seeing all the objects. But light we take it for granted. In the same way, the very fact that we are able to see the Jagat, it is because of the Nirvishesha Atma. That is what is Jagat Andhya Prasanga. You are totally, you won't be able to see the world without Atma, without you being there, Nirvishesha. That you seem to take it for granted and you don't ask to know. You don't want to do this analysis. This self-enquiry you are not willing to do. You take for granted because that Atma is not going to be useful. For me, Jagat is useful. Whereas in the Jagat, what are you looking for? Atma. Why? You want the changeless. Whatever you Jagat you are confronting, it is changing all the time. Even Laddu goes away in 10-2 minutes. A car, by the time you drive the car from the showroom to your house, you lose the pleasure of owning the car because all the problems start. So every pleasure, the most exquisite pleasure you seek and get and work for it and get after years and years, 5 minutes maximum you enjoy. Thereafter all the worries associated with that, having taken the car you have to protect it. So all those things start. So no pleasure is worth more than 5 minutes. Whereas the moment you feel pleased is when you are not worrying about anything, when you are not conscious about anything, for that moment you are pleased. And that moment is yourself. And why you are going after another object? Because that moment you don't cherish, you don't relish. You think that because I got an object, I am happy. Whereas you are happy because for that moment you don't lack anything. You are nirvishesha. That recognition doesn't happen. That is why he says you don't have to know it. You have to only recognize it. Just imagine. You don't have to know. You don't have to apply any science and all to know. You just have to recognize your reality. That's what he is trying to say. Yeah. Suppose consciousness Atma is covered, you read from there.
Suppose consciousness Atma is covered, then you would not be able to know anything. There would be no world. That is, there will be Jagadandhya Prasangaha.
The possibility of the
world being absent for a person.
Yeah.
You must know this expression which is used often in the Shastra. How would there be no world? If the eyes are obstructed, you cannot see. If the ears or any of the 5 sense organs are obstructed, they cannot perceive. Similarly, if consciousness is really obstructed by this yoga maya, then you will not perceive anything. The mind will not be able to observe the world. There would be Jagadandhya Prasangaha. Jagadandhya means being blind to the world. It is contrary to your experience. You do experience the world. Consciousness is not covered by anything, which is why you are able to see, hear, think, even to say, I am a samsari and therefore a mumukshu. All this is possible because consciousness is never covered. Then what is covered? The verse says, Lokaha. Loka is defined as Lokyati Anena iti. Lokyate Anena iti. That by which something is known, experienced. If that is so, is it the unconditioned consciousness, Atma Chaitanya, or is it Pramatar Chaitanya, Pramatar Chaitanya? Consciousness conditioned as a knower, that is indicated by the word Loka.
Yeah, basically what he means is, it is not that consciousness is not known. It is the Pramatar Chaitanya, meaning the Buddhi, which is not yet asked the question, what is my reality? That buddhi has, that pramatri means the buddhi. The buddhi has not asked the question, so it doesn't know, that's all. So pramatri chaitanya, consciousness, conditioned as a knower, he like even the analogy is a patti on your eyes, just blindfolded eyes. So the pramatri is blindfolded to the fact of to the reality of yourself. That's all. That's the only problem. That's all. If you remove the patti, your eyes see. Likewise, if you choose to know your reality, then the whole recognition happens. That's what he says. Yeah. Consciousness is never covered. Yeah.
Consciousness is never covered. We have seen that. Therefore, Loka here means the knower, Pramatar Chaitanya, the one who
recognizes an object. Yeah.
Pramata Chaitanya, the one who recognizes an object. It is only from the Pramatar's standpoint that there is covering. What is covered for the knower is the nature of Atma. It is not understood. Any understanding is for the knower. Therefore, it is from the Pramatar's standpoint that we say the nature of Atma is covered by Maya, ignorance. It is mistaken for a doer, an enjoyer, and therefore someone subject to birth, death, and so on. It is an error on the part of the knower who is consciousness essentially. That very consciousness, obtaining as the knower, is covered by ignorance. Mudaha na abhijanati.
That very consciousness obtaining as the knower is covered by ignorance. Just see that contrast. You say you are a knower, but you are covered by ignorance. The knower, because you have chosen to know the entire world, so you are called knower. But you have not chosen to know the reality of yourself, so it is ignorance. That's all. Yeah.
Actually, Swamiji, this entire Atma study of Atma that we are doing, initially it just started off by saying what is Atma. Then it went off by saying Atma is nothing but, it is different from you. Then it says Atma is you, then it gets into more detail. Now it's getting more and more into detail. It's more like like our physics, science, biology, those account books where it gets more into detail. So,
exactly. This... It becomes, you are missing the obvious and you are exploring the world because you think that is easy. Whereas this is the easiest because it doesn't require any samagri other than just recognition. Whereas every other ritual which he has explained is all tedious. No ritual, no even whether it is smriti karma or shruti karma, everything is tedious. Everywhere there is a pitfall, you can make a mistake. And because of that mistake, you are not getting the phala, people can easily say and get away with it. Even Bhagavan can tell you, you have done this mistake, so you have not given this phala. Because it involves all samagri and all action, all shraddha, kayena, vacha, manasa. Whereas in this particular case, there is no samagri, nothing. Just you have to recognize what you are already. That is why it is called Sulabha. That is why he is trying to say it is Sulabha. Yeah.
So, what I was wanting to ask Swamiji is, this retreat course that, like all these Nalini, all these people have done for 3 years, is this the entire, they have basically done. So, this itself is a course, like a degree course like they are doing, right? So,
since at first, Nalini and all, they have not done a 3-year course, but they have bought a 3-year course. We have got Jnana Prabha here, the entire 3-year course last 3-year course, 2010-13. This entire thing, like Swamiji himself will say in the introduction, first day is Atma, last day also is Atma only.
So this retreat course to get certified, do you have an exam or something there where they sit and write or anything? Nothing like that.
For yourself, there is no exam, nothing.
Okay.
Your life is your exam, that's all. You can live a better life and others around you also can have a better life with you.
Because sometimes looking back, Swamiji, in writing physics and chemistry, all those exams where they ask us all this, fill up the blanks and all those things, this also is something similar to that. So they should also introduce a course by saying BSc in Bhagavad Gita, like that, and have these things and ask questions and answer the questions.
Marcy Munji, NMIMS, Bombay, has got a management course where spirituality is one of the subjects.
Oh, okay.
One of Swamiji's disciples is a faculty there.
Oh.
Yeah, they buy a lot of books from AVR and PT and they take. But That is again academics. Basically, there is in Varanasi University and all, there is a course on Vedanta. Even in Sanskrit College, Chennai, after your diploma and when you go to degree and all, they ask for a choice whether you want to take Kavya or Vedanta. Most people take Kavya.
What do you mean by Kavya?
Kavya means all literature.
Oh,
Samhita portion, like all verses, meaning and all those things. All basically rituals and Purana, etc. Whereas Vedanta means it is, they feel generally it is very academic, theoretical and all that, dry or something. With that you cannot go and do Upanyasa. So people don't take generally. But even then what happens is, that is in Mundaka Upanishad, it's very clearly explained. And the sense, it is not meant for, Mundaka means Mundanam. Why you do Mundanam? To differentiate that this is not an academic, it is your life. Your identity with your body, mind, relative senses, etc., has to go. For that purpose only this study is. In order to symbolize that only the Mundanam is taken. Mundanam is done. Even for a brahmachari who comes to study Vedanta in the Gurukulam, he is given a Mundanam. That is why generally brahmacharis will be there, only the Kudumi will be there. The idea is, you have, this is that, the first thing you do is, your identification with your body, mind, senses goes. Because that is what is obliterating this Sulabha. You, since you are so much connected with your body, mind, senses and all that comes along with that, you refuse to see the reality of the Nirvisesha Atma. So in order to symbolize that, first thing they take out your identification with body, mind, senses. And in the body, generally what you are identified with is hairstyle and all that. So Swamiji elaborately will explain about a Sri Lankan student in a class in Rishikesh Gurukulam, where he came to study Vedanta. Swamiji had to work on him for many days for him to remove his hair. Because he was so much attached to his hair, flowing hair and all that. Like even a lady used to have big hair. He was very proud of that. So Swamiji said, unless you remove your hair, you won't get Vedanta. With so much of affinity towards your body, mind and senses, there is no way you will see the reality of the Nirvisesha Atma. So the idea is not to qualify yourself as an Acharya or to say that I know Vedanta. It is a reality understanding of your life. What is your reality? That is why this the entire course is only about Atma with different prakriyas from the Ishvara side, from Jagat side, from your side. And by all means, prakriyas are used to tell you that you are the only reality. Even the Jagat and Ishvara is nothing but you. They are all like a movie. The reality is given by you, the Atma. Nirvisesha is giving the reality to Savisesha. Savisesha is the world and Jagat and Jiva. And Nirvisesha, the Atma, the being which is ever shining, is the only reality because of which you are able to see all these things. It is something like a light put in a dark room. What you see is only, first thing is light. Everything else you see because of the light. And even in the drama, in the Panchadashi, Dhyaranya tells, he equates your Atma to a light on a stage. Because of the light only you are able to see the entire play. In modern times, we can say, because of the light projected from onto the screen, only because of that the entire movie is seen. Because of that light of consciousness, you are able to see your dream. The same light of consciousness only through your eyes, ears, which are all apertures, like a lamp in the pot which is having 5 holes, you are able to see through the 5 holes the light. The 5 holes are eyes, ears and all that. So basically the light of consciousness within you is the only reality. Everything else is only for the purpose of lighting up the various objects. So we should not get lost in seeing the objects, the light because of which you see the objects. So that is the whole study. That is why it is Sulabha, because you don't have to do anything. You just have to know, just recognize. Not even know with the buddhi and application and all that. Just recognize. Because of which you are able to apply your buddhi also. The buddhi itself is lighted by this consciousness. So that Sulabha it is. That is what he is trying to explain. Yeah.
Because why I was telling this is, Ashwin has prepared some books, in about Ambal, where she sits on the Bindu, and he has explained with Soundya Lahari and Lalitas now like a book explaining how these parts are. So one day when I was speaking to him, he was telling, I am working on collating all these aspects of what we learn in the Bhagavad Gita home study in the form of a pictorial representation. But the pictorial representation becomes so big that I am unable to connect the dots and put it into a pictorial, because it keeps dwelling deep, deep, deep as I go into the chapters when I read through them and put it. So it was not something like he could do that he could do here. So he was telling that, he has to refer other texts in order to do this. So, person who does this course, like someone like you who is fully well versed on this, is a natural PhD by himself who does another PhD, IIT registering so many PhDs, this itself is a PhD by itself if you know all this really in truth.
It is your reality in the sense the whole thing, Pujya Swamiji's way of teaching itself is to remove all props and all systems and designs and charts. That is what even Ashwin I have told. Don't get into this chart business. Just to know it consciously in your psyche, in your day to day, in the sense you must be able to see yourself. For that you don't need charts. You have to understand, and then I tell you honestly, I don't know how people are, but in my own case, the way in which I studied, even my academics and all that, I will read a book, make my one notes, then keep all the books away. And I will go and write in the exam what I know. Not because I have read it from the books. Okay, people who are able to capture it in the memory and go exactly write what is told in the book, perhaps they may get something higher marks. But I write what I know, what I have understood. That is the most important thing in this particular understanding. This understanding has to sink into your being. You have to know Atmartham, you must know. And Atmartham, if you have to, for you to know Atma, you don't need a chart. Or you don't need an academic qualification also. You just keep reading, and that is why a guru is important. Guru, Shastra, Acharya, Upadesa is important. Once you get it in your psyche, like Krishna's mind becomes your mind. That is why that Radha Kalpana is there in the Shastra also. Where Buddhim to Sarathim Vidhi, in Bhagavad Gita itself, Bhagavan says, you become your own Sarathi. So Sarathi means what? Krishna. Your Buddhi should be your Krishna. Then you don't need another prop. You don't need anything. You are your Krishna. You are in the sense, you know that you are Ishvara, you are Atma. And it doesn't have any, Desa Kala Vastu Aparichindam, which we have been telling. It doesn't have a form, it doesn't have a name, it doesn't have contours, you don't have to measure it in time and space. It is just the being. And for knowing the being, for recognizing the being which is your reality, and which is the reality of Ishvara, which is the reality of the Jagat, you don't need any chart. You have to understand Atmartha. And for that only we are studying this. So A to Z is only Atma. Just sink into your personality. It should become part of you. Like you know you are Prashant, you must know you are Atma in your day-to-day living.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Naturally, when the mind is totally covered by Maya, a person is deluded and does not recognize me. The external world, the physical body and so on are not deluded, nor is consciousness Atma. There is only one thing in this world that can be deluded, the mind. Antakarana, delusions reside only there. Loka, the consciousness conditioned by the mind, called the knower, does not know me. That knower alone is deluded, nothing else. Therefore, he or she does not know me. Mam na abhijanati. Abhijanati is a very good word here. Janati means he knows. Abhijanati means he knows properly. Na abhijanati means he does not know properly. All devotees know Ishvara in some form other than themselves. Actually, this is very interesting to read. Abhijanati is a very good word here. Yeah. Janati means he knows. Abhijanati means he knows properly. Na abhijanati means he does not know properly. Oh, wow.
Exactly. In the sense, that is why it is called, the sense, an aparoksha samsari becomes an aparoksha samsari. Aparoksha means you know very well. You are very clear today that I am samsari. There is no doubt. So, that has to change. Once you know, then you know very well that I am not samsari. That's all. Just a change. So, you cannot say, I don't know yourself. If you don't know yourself, there is no problem. You know yourself very well as samsari. So, you cannot live with it. That is why you can't say, no, it's okay, I'm happy with my family, I'm having my wealth and all, it's okay, after 60 I will learn. No, it will not allow you to sleep. Because you know very well that I am samsari. So unless you have that opposite understanding that I know very well that I am a samsari, you have no choice. It's a Hobson's choice. So people think, no, by postponing you are deluding yourself. So better, once you get into the inquiry, keep the inquiry so till the time you know. If you don't come to if you don't know that you don't know that you don't know, then there is no problem. That sort of people are blissfully ignorant. Then there is no problem. But if you know there's something missing in my life, once you start inquiring, you will have to know what is the reality. That is what we are talking about. Yeah.
This is actually, when I read the Swamiji, I kind of remember audit, Sometimes when we do some audit, Swamiji, some people in my own team will not identify certain items. Whereas some other people will identify certain items, but they will have it in their mind, will not be able to know how to put it into paper. Some people, will they see it, they will grasp it and also know how to put it into paper. This exactly, these three different stages of people. So some people have to train people to how to write that into words.
That is why a guru is needed. That is why the same words which we know you must use, which are used for relative transaction in life, with the same words you remove all the what is meaning it doesn't belong to the absolute and explain the absolute. Allow you to lead to you the absolute using the relative words. That is where handling a word, handling a pramana through a guru is important. Only a guru who has got this from his guru, who has got from his guru, who has got from his guru, only the transfer of vision has to happen. The words have to fall by the wayside. At the end of the day, the vision of the guru has to become your vision. Sarathi, Partha Sarathi's vision has to become Arjuna's buddhi. So that's why he said, Nashto Moham. At the end of the teaching, he says, Nashto Moham. I am not very clear. And Bhagavan himself says, I have told whatever I want to say, now you decide. He didn't tell him, no, you must fight. You decide, he said. Then he says, Nashto Moham. All my delusion is gone. Come on, start fight. That is what it is. No, the vision has to transfer from the head of the guru to the head of the Shishya. All in between Shastra and all will go. The words will go. Only the vision will remain. And the vision is what? Vision is nothing but the being. It cannot be put in words. It's just you, the being. And the Ishvara also says that what is you is me. So you don't need words for that. That is why it cannot be objectified. It cannot be known by any other pramana. It is only by a Guru Shishya Shabda Pramanam alone it can be transferred this mission. That is the uniqueness of the teaching, and that is why it has to lot of cobweb in the mind has to go. For that only all the preparation, Antakarana Shuddhi is for that only. Because you are so many janmas, you are carrying all these baggages that I am not Atma, I am not Ishvara. We have been so busy transacting with the world. Including our own body, mind, senses, our own world, obliterating our reality. So that is why, just you have to suspend it, not even denigrate it, not even you have to throw it away. Whereas Patanjali Yoga Sutra, many people will say you must destroy your desires, you must destroy your mind and all that. Whereas Swamiji and beautifully will explain, you don't have to, you have to just suspend. Matta smritis jnanam apohanancha, just suspend. Just keep it aside and listen to the teacher. Total active listening. Once you see the truth, then you don't have to do anything. There will be phenomenal world will keep going on, but you will always be, the Shruti will always be there in your ears. Aham Atma Brahma, all the time, ringing true in your ears and your heart. And with that you will transact the world. The world will be a better world.
Yeah.
Very person in terms of this understanding.
It's got it. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So they are bringing like this, how people generate ideas. I'm just saying an example. That's all. All devotees know Ishvara in some form other than themselves as another individual located somewhere in the world as Paroksha. The Lord says, the whole world is me, but a devotee looks upon it as something different from me. Even though I am his very Atma, he does not recognize that. On the contrary, all that he recognizes about me, I am not. Only one thing is there, Brahman, no history, no biography, no problems. Only Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. It was like that before, it is like that now, and it will always be like that. But that he does not know, and not knowing me like this, he also does not know himself. He knows only what he is not. After saying I am, he will relate an elaborate history and will add psychology to it by bringing in the subconscious or the unconscious. Therefore, he has a variety of histories, and they are all valid because he does not know me. Mam na abhijanati. He knows me, but only well enough to commit a mistake about me.
Yeah, that is a freedom given to you. You can abuse your freedom, you can disuse your freedom, you will not use your freedom. You can choose not to know. That freedom is given to you because you are uninhibited consciousness. Purnam Brahma you are. So Bhagavan has given you total freedom, but you unfortunately missed it.
This first Upanishad itself is so detailed, Swamiji. Actually, this first one we read in our Vedas, most of them are coming from here, right? Satyam, Jnana, Anantam, Brahma, Prana, Rama, Mana, Anandam, like that. Shanti, Samriddham, Amritam, Iti, Prachina, Yoga.
This Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahmavit Apnod Param, all the pujas, all the parayanam, every priest will say this. But they will never explain what it is. That is why it's called a Rik. Rik means Samhita. In the Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda, Taittiriya Upanishad is quoting a Rik Veda. And that is how the Anandavalli, the Taittiriya, the main part itself starts. Upadesha starts like that, straight away. And you can see the Upadesha in Upanishad as well as Gita, straight away starts with the reality. It doesn't mince words at all. Upanishad also, here also Bhagavan starts, you talk as if you are a very Pandita, Nanu Sochanti Panditaha, and Asochan, what is not to be worried about, you are worrying. That is how he starts, bang. And likewise, Anandavalli also starts like that, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that is your reality. And also, the next sentence it says, Tasmad etasmat atmanaha. The Brahma which I have explained is nothing but you. Tasmad Brahmanaha. Etasmat atmanaha. Tasmat means that Brahman which I have explained through this ray. Etasmat atma is nothing but etasmat. Tasmat means remote distance. Etasmat means very close. What is very close to you? Only you. And that is what he says. Etasmat atmanaha. Tasmat brahmanaha. Etasmat atmanaha. That is how the Upanishad starts. So there is no scope for any error. But anyway, since we don't look into it, we just read it Parayanam and then go for further puja. Yeah.
It is like Swamiji, some of the office works we do, how much ever we do, it will never be complete. It will keep on be giving us to do it again and again. Similarly, reading that Upanishad, we can say, okay, I went to Veda class, I learnt Veda, I know this Upanishad, I am fluent in it. But without knowing the true meaning of it, we are not still complete with it.
It's a blessing for you. And that is what is missed anyway. Yeah, the original mistake is not
Mistake is not corrected. Even to mistake something, you must have some knowledge of it. You must see the rope. Only then you can only then can you mistake it for a snake. Similarly, Atma has to be known in some way before you can commit any mistake about it. And it is always available for one to commit a mistake. Atma is always Nitya Aparoksha, self-evident, evident enough for the Buddhi to commit a mistake uniformly. Therefore, we keep compounding it.
Then we keep compounding it.
Then we keep compounding it. Through experiences, the mistake gets more and more complicated. It is what we call living. There is one fundamental error followed by a variety of others. These entrench the original mistake. It is buried under the other mistakes you are now busy correcting. But it is always there. Therefore, no matter how much you keep correcting the secondary mistakes, you do not arrive at the right solution. It is like solving an arithmetic problem. You commit a mistake in the first step of simple addition, then you commit a mistake in multiplication, then in division.
This I have told earlier also, this example of multiplication, simple arithmetic mistake, yeah.
Afterwards, you correct the mistakes in multiplication and division. But you do not think you can commit a mistake in addition because it is such a simple thing. Therefore, you get the wrong answer. The same is true with samsara. The original mistake is not corrected. Before continuing the seeking, the first step is to find out if am I a seeker. Do I have to seek? If that is not answered properly and you keep on correcting every subsequent step, it is meaningless. At this point, Swamiji, I just remember one thing. Dad always used to, when teaching maths, at the end, many people will come to amount and say rupees 20 is the answer. So when he used to put all arithmetic calculations in form of steps, and I never used to put the unit at the end, he used to say, on the 20 Ada, Mada, Kadya, but that is really known here where you have to put that rupees. That's what actually counts on the real subsequent step.
The mathematics and in the sense, all this discipline of mathematics, science and all that gives you that logical thinking. Like you first step first. Here also, the first step in your life should be to know you. Without knowing you, you are transacting, you are trying to know the world. That is the greatest anomaly. And we don't know, we have taken for granted. That is the problem. I think once I am given a name, I think I am the name. So I am. Immediately you go for the name and everything that comes along with that. What is I am, nobody inquires into. That is not the problem, yeah.
Uniqueness of ignorance of Atma. Ignorance of Atma is different from ignorance of an object like a pot. There are many things in the world like a pot which you do not know and are therefore objects of your ignorance. Atma, however, unlike a pot, is not an object of ignorance or knowledge. It does not have its basis in Yogamaya and therefore, like a pot, it cannot be an object of Yogamaya, ignorance. It is self-evident and is the basis of both ignorance and knowledge. Being covered by Yogamaya amounts to this. The knowledge that has to take place in the buddhi is now covered or obstructed by the products of the three gunas. The obstruction is not for Atma, it is for the mind where the knowledge has to take place. Therefore, we say that there is ignorance of Atma until the knowledge takes place. In other words, it is there until it goes away for good. Uniqueness of knowledge of Atma. When we say knowledge is obstructed by Yogamaya, what do we mean by jnana, knowledge? Two meanings are possible. One is Nyapti Swarupa, Jnanam, pure consciousness. The other is Nyayate Anena Iti Jnanam, that by which a given object is known, that is the instrument of knowledge. This is Vritti Jnana.
Yeah, that is what I was telling. Like for you to know what, you must have the Phala Vyapti as well as Vritti Vyapti. In the sense, it has to be lighted and it has to know, you have to know that it is a part, the name, form, you must know. Whereas in this particular Surupa Jnanam, which is not having a name, form and all that, you just have to know that is me, that's all, consciousness. So it is more sulabha compared to being a part. That's what he is trying to say. Yeah.
Now, consciousness is not obstructed by Yogamaya. As we have seen, it would mean that there would be Jagadandhya Prasanga. That is, the world would not be recognized. Therefore, the only other thing that can be obstructed is Vritti Jnana, that by which something is known. This knowledge, which removes ignorance and error, takes place only where Vritti can take place, that is, in the Buddhi. There is no other place where it can occur. Atma has to be understood only by the mind. Manasa eva anudrastavyaha.
Manasa eva anudrastavyaha. Drastavyaha in the sense you have to see it in your antakarana, the reality, understanding. There is no other choice. You cannot, you don't get it, you are not able to see it as an object, like a part outside. You have to understand in your cognizance, you have to take cognizance of the fact that I am Brahma, I am Atma, Brahma, I am consciousness. Manasa eva anudrastavyaha. Drastavyaha meaning seeing it as clearly like you see with your eyes. That is why Drastavyaha it is called. Yeah.
Not understanding the Shastra, people interpret statements like Yata Vacho Nivartante Aprapya Manasa Saha.
Yeah, this is in the Taittiriyopanishad.
Yeah. 2.4.1.
What it will say is, that is, once you come to know, Bhagavan will say Anandam Brahma. Once you will say that you are the Ananda Atma, you are nothing but Ananda Atma by your Swarupa, then it will say Yato Vacho Nivartante Aprapya Manasa Saha Anandam Brahmano Vidvan Nabhiveti Kudaschaneti. That way he will say. Why he says Yato Vacho Nivartante Aprapya Manasa Saha, in the sense by your mind and your words, what you are objectifying is like part and other things. But this is not available for objectification. That is why it doesn't mean that you will not know in your mind. You have to know in your mind, but not as a vachyartha, but as a lakshyartha, by which you come to know all your vachyam. Is lakshyam, by which you are knowing the whole world. That lakshyam is you. That is why it is not available for aprapya manasasaha yato vacho nivartante. People interpret it wrongly. That's what he's trying to say. Yeah.
Swamiji, going forward, when I read Anandavalli, I'm not going to read it, just close the book. I have to sit there and understand, I think. Because Anandavalli is so short, in 15 minutes we say, but so deep it is.
Supposed to be Krishna Yajurveda. For all of us in the South India, Brahmins are supposed to follow Krishna Yajurveda. And in all our pujas, all these things are there. We keep on saying it very religiously without knowing, understanding the meaning. Yeah.
To mean you must transcend the mind, etc. What is said there is that along with the mind, the words come back having not accomplished Atma. That is, having not objectified Atma. Atma's class, everywhere it is connected to a part actually.
Swamiji's favorite instrument is part.
Okay. You relate to the object of a vritti as, this is the object, I am a knower of this object. Can you relate this way to a vritti for which the object is Atma? As a footnote, the word object is put within quotes to indicate that Atma can never be an object of our perception. Can you say this is Atma like how you can say this is pot? If you can, then who are you? This knower-known difference which is always present between the object and the knower does not exist with reference to the nature of the knower. Then how do you ever recognize it?
Swamiji, shall we stop here or? Because
yeah, we can stop. A special pramana we will have to start with. Good. Yeah.
To understand.
Akanda Akara Gati is a Sabda Pramanam which I have told in my chair. That is what it is. So that we will start with next week.
For Guru Purnima, this is a very good lesson for today, Swamiji.
but we have to contemplate.
Exactly. That is
so sulabha. If you can get the knack of it, no, without any prop, without any clouded academics and all that, just be, then it is very good. Actually, Nalini and Suresh Rajagopalana had sent a message to me. I had given them one meditation. They went through that meditation, they felt very happy about it. I think it is there in the YouTube. Now my 2 meditation classes there in that.
2 meditations.
Channel. 2 meditations are there. One of them they have looked at. You can also look at it for contemplation. Yeah.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते।